All right, Shalom. I'm a Hebrew Israelite here to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom and speak about the upliftment of God's chosen people, which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans according to the Bible. All right? First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakak with Dash. Double honors to my apostles and elders that rule well. Salutation and much respect to you. I came out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. All right? This kingdom has been gone on in wickedness for a long enough time, man. The Most High is tired of this place, man. All right? And he sent his prophets out here to prophesy against this place and to speak about the downfall of our enemies, man. Our chief enemy being Esau and Edom, man. All right? Which is the so-called white people, man. All right? And all the rest of these other nations. The Most High is going to come back and wreak vengeance upon them for what they've done to his chosen, man. All right? Because he chose us. Out of all other nations, we're his chosen people. All right? So let's get Zephaniah 2 verse 8. Zechariah 2 verse 8, and it reads, "But thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations, which spoiled you." All right? And the nations spoiled us, man. All these other nations, these Edomites especially, they spoiled our people, man. All right? You see, when taking us into slavery, taking the land from the so-called Native Americans, you spoiled them, man. You spoiled us as a people, every tribe. You see? So the Most High has a controversy with that. He has a grudge against that. All right? And it says, because for he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. So you touch the apple of the Most High's eye. You touch his chosen people. So the Most High has a grudge against you for that, man. All right? And he's going to wreak havoc on this place, man. All right? In the World War III that's been prophesied in this Bible for over 2,000 years. All right? It's going to come to pass, man. There's going to be a nuclear war, and after that, all you Edomites are going into slavery under the Israelites according to the Bible. All right? Along with you other nations, man. All right? You groups ain't getting away either, man. All right? Let's get Deuteronomy 7 and 6. No, they think the Bible is about love, and the Most High loves everybody. Yeah, it's about love, but it's about love for the Israelites. All right? It's about a love story between the Most High, right, and his people, okay, which is us, all right? And how when we went off, he chastised us, man. You see? But this is the last chastisement, man. This is the last captivity, right? Going back to Egypt, which was the first captivity, this is the last modern-day Egypt, man, all right? So the Most High is going to take down the so-called white man, all right? Going to bring him down to his knees, all right? And we're going to put them in slavery, man, every last one of them. For what they've done to us, man. That's according to the Bible. All right? This is Deuteronomy 7 and verse 6. And it reads, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power." The Lord chose us to be a holy people. You see? And it says, "The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth," man. So we're above all other nations. You see? You know? That's why he made us better at everything. You wonder why Negroes and Latinos can sing better, can dance better, all right? The most inventions were by Negroes, you see? Why? Because the Most High chose us to be a special people, okay? He put the basis of men right now on top, which is who? The so-called white man. The white man is the basis, the lowest of men. But he made him on top, you see? And that's why the earth is in the condition it's in today, because of the rulership of these devils. And that's a fact. That's not, oh, maybe you're just over it. No, that's a fact. Okay? It was all based upon the influence of these so-called white people, these Edomites. Okay? As soon as he took hold of the planet Earth started to die, man. All right? And it started to fight back against them. Let's get Daniel's, what's that? Daniel's 4 and 7, man. Or Daniel's 4 and 12. Okay? Because this rulership is a nightmare, man. You see? That's why there's so much third world countries around the world. There's never been third world countries before until Esau and Edom came into power, man. That's the first time. Because every other nation, they had rich people, they had middle class, they had their poor people. There was no such thing as a whole nation that's poor, man. That's because of the thievery of these so-called white people, these Edomites. All right? They're a bunch of thieves. Okay? So they steal the natural resources and leave the people with nothing, man. You understand? But there's going to be a recompense for that. Let's get Daniel's real quick. This is Daniel's 4 and verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. So the Heavenly Father is the one ruling this thing, man. Just like how he put the spirit in Pharaoh not to let his people go, right, which is us. He's putting that same spirit in these devils, man. Okay? But the Most High is going to take them down, just how he took down Pharaoh in Egypt. You see? The Most High set this whole thing up, man. Everything that you do on a daily basis, the Most High made you do it. All right? Let's continue. It says, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men and giveth it to whomsoever he will. So he gives the kingdom into who he wants to, man. You see? And setteth up over it the basest of men, which means the lowest of all men. So what he did was he took the so-called white man, which was a nobody, going back from the beginning of time, man, going back to the Egypt, the Babylonian Empire, the Persian Empire. These Edomites were nobodies, man. All right? The first time they made a name for themselves was in the Greek Empire, right? Then the Roman Empire. And then they were brought down in the Holy Roman Empire when we were ruling. Okay? Because the so-called Negro was ruling the Europe for over 1,000 years. All right? That's why you go to Europe and you go to the museums, you'll see a lot of dark images, dark-skinned images with Afros, man. All right? Why? Because we ruled that land. What they tried to do was they tried to take down those images and burn them, man. But they couldn't destroy all of them. All right? Because there was too much. You see? Right? And he said, let me read that again, man. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set it up over it the basest of men, which is who? The Edomites. That's who's ruling right now, the basest of men. You see? But the Most High set him up for this purpose, to destroy the earth, to oppress the whole planet, so that the Most High could take him down. And also the Most High wanted to raise up his pride too. He wanted to make sure he was at the peak of his arrogance, all right? So he can bring them down to the ground. You see? That's what the Most High wanted to do. This is just like a movie, man, all right? There has to be a climax. There has to be a point where the bad guys win it. Right now, the bad guys in rulership, which are these Edomites, these so-called white people. But the Most High is going to take us, the Israelites, which are on the bottom right now, and he's going to put us on top. That's according to the Bible. All right? Let's continue. It says, matter of fact, let me get Proverbs 16. Right? Let's get Proverbs 16 real quick. This is Proverbs 16, and verse 4. Matter of fact, I'll start at verse 1. The preparations of the heart in man and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. All right? So the Most High controls everything, man. Everything a man thinks, all right? Everything he does, everything he says, the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, put that in his spirit to do so. Even the devil, man. Okay? Even these so-called white people, these devils, all right? The Most High put it in their spirit to do what they do. You see? When he came over here, guess what? There was something called Elmo's fire. What was that? That was a chariot of the Heavenly Father. The chariots of Israel, our chariots. All right? Guiding him to this land, man. To do what? To take down the Native Americans, which is our brothers, which are the tribe of Gad. All right? And Reuben. All right? He allowed him to do that. For what reason? So that he could build up the society you see today. And then the Most High is going to take him down, man. And then he's going to be our slaves. That's part of the story too. That's poetic justice, man. All right? Let's continue. It says, all the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes, but the Lord weigheth the spirits. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. The Lord hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. So he created these Edomites for the day of evil, man. Look how much evil they brought to the planet. But that's still not the day of evil. The day of evil is when the Lord comes back, man. All right? Which is a so-called black man. All right? According to the Bible, it shows his description. A so-called black man with white woolly hair, man. He's coming back to deliver us, man. You see? They thought Jesus was a white boy looking like a fucking rocker on heroin. That's not the Lord, man. All right? The Lord is a dark-skinned man. Why would he send the Lord back with leprosy, man? You see, the Lord had to wear sunscreen in Jerusalem, man? You kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you having a piss, mate? Get the fuck out of here, man. The Lord was a dark-skinned man. He had melanin. He sent back his son. He sent back his son perfect, man. See? Not with no damn defect where you have to put on sunscreen. That's a joke, man. All right? All you Edomites have a defect, man. All right? And that was given to you by the Heavenly Father. The Most High. God gave that to you. That defect. You see? Let's continue. It says, the Lord had made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. So he created the evil, right? The wicked for the day of evil, for this time that's about to come, man. You see? So everything the Most High created, everything the Most High set up perfectly, man. And we're at that time when the Most High is going to actually bring that judgment down. All right? Because our people are at a real messed up position under this devil, man. A real messed up position. All right? You see those West African jakes, those Israelites in West Africa, like Ghana, Nigeria, they're on a higher level. You know? Their kids are the smartest family in London right now is a Nigerian family. Why? Because they teach their kids self-esteem, man. Don't teach them to put goddamn blonde wigs on their fucking head. All right? They teach them self-esteem, man. You see? So those kids they learn properly, man. You understand? You so-called Negroes in Jamaica and these different islands in America, the so-called African Americans, you have no self-esteem. Right? And that's based upon your enemy, man, being over you. Okay? Let's get Deuteronomy. Let's get Deuteronomy 28 real quick. Deuteronomy 28. I'll start at verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day. This is Slakia. Alright? That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, cursed shalt thou be in the field, cursed shalt be thy basket in thy store, cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, and the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. So the Most High put those curses on us as a people for what? Disobeying everything that he said to do, man. All right? So what we're doing now is we're coming back, right, like was prophesied, and we're coming back to the Heavenly Father so that he might have mercy on us, man. All right? He is going to have mercy on a portion. We just want to be that portion. We want to be of that number. Okay? Because not all Israel is going to make it, man. 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they're going to continue in the curses until they're utterly destroyed, man. All right? We're getting out of that, man. All right? We're getting out of that. We're coming into the knowledge of Yahweh Shem Shai. You see? That's the biggest threat to Esau Edom. Not coming up with an army or a militia or anything like that. No. The biggest threat to Esau Edom is the truth of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right? That's the biggest threat to these devils, man. All right? And the Most High is going to allow it where it's going to be so overwhelming that Esau's just going to get us off the streets, man. And they're starting that now. They're starting with the propaganda, okay? Like with that devil that came up, what's her name? Caitlin Bennett from the InfoWars. She came up to some of the brothers in Miami or one of those places. And she was basically trying to incite violence, man. All right? But that's how the Edomite does things, man. They'll set you up and make it look like they're the victim, okay? And that gives them a reason to attack, all right? That's what they did with the Native Americans. They came and said, what, you're savages, right? So that gave them the green light to kill them, right? They went they went even to the Middle East, man. They went to those Arabs, man, which we don't care about the Arabs, but they went to the Arabs and they said, what? You're terrorists. So that gave them a reason to go there and steal their oil, man. See? So that's how Esau works. He works with propaganda. That's how the so-called white man works. These devils work. And it's the same game over and over. These people just don't realize it. They're too blind in their folly to realize it. That's all. But it's the same game this devil plays, man. All right? Matter of fact, since I said that, let's get let me get Psalm 64 real quick. This is Psalm 64 in verse 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, man. So part of the weapons of these Edomites is what? Their words. All right? They whet their tongue like a sword, man. Okay, so part of their arrows, part of their weaponry is their tongue. All right? The things that they say. Okay? The things that they have the power to write into law. You see? That's part of Esau Edom's weapons. All right? He's able to demonize and then attack. And he'll have the backing of the majority. Okay? And it says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily, which means privately. They say, who shall see? All right? So Esau Edom, what he does is he does things in secret, man. He has a little secret council among themselves. Okay, we're going to do this and this and that. But in order for us to do that, we have to push this type of propaganda out. That's what 9/11 was all about. All right? Right? So Esau Edom, one of his weapons is his tongue, man. When he was blessed with the sword from Isaac, all right, part of that was the weapon of the tongue. That's why Gad, the Native Americans, call them what? Forked tongues. It means they say something, but they mean something else. They're liars. They're not honorable people. All right? When they make those movies in the ancient worlds with the honorable, it's for the honor and all this, that's not the so-called white man. It's not the white people. That's something that they tried to steal, right? Really from the so-called Negro, man. Because we were in Europe for 1,000 years ruling, man. All right? That's in our spirit. That's not in their spirit, man. They came over here and they broke every last treaty they made, man. All right? Over 300 and something treaties. That's not an honorable man. That's a low-based person. Okay? See? So that's how you know that wasn't them. All right? Besides the archaeology, besides the pictures that show that it was us, all right? Their character shows that wasn't them. When you watch Game of Thrones, that's not the so-called white man. That's not his spirit, man. You kidding me? He don't got that any type of honor whatsoever. The only ones that do fit the so-called white man in those things are the villains, man. That's the ones that fit them, man. Those like that little devil, that king, that king who was killing everybody mercilessly. That was an Edomite. That's the spirit of the so-called white man. All right. But these other people with honor and all this, nah, man. That's not the so-called white man. That's the devil. All right. He has the characteristics of the devil. All right. Let's continue. It says, they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. All right, they think deep about wickedness, man. So you had that Edomite hoe, Margaret Sanger. All right, she said in a quote, she said what? We don't want the word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population. And she's the founder of Planned Parenthood, man. And that's in every fucking Negro and Latino neighborhood today, man. You see? That's the #1 murderer, man, of Negroes and Latinos, man. All right? Is what? Abortions, man. Okay? So that's all deception by your enemy. That's all deception by the devil. You see? The devil fed you that madness so that you could continue and murder yourself, man. All right? Now, don't Edomite devil. Say it right. Edomite devil. All right? Don't say white. Edomite. You're not white. Okay? You white people are red. All right? Let's continue. It says, but the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. So the Most High allowed them to do all this, but he's going to eventually come at them. All right? He's going to eventually take them down. All right? And what's that arrow speaking about mainly? That nuclear missile, man. All right? That's the arrow of the Most High. He's going to allow them to destroy themselves with their own sick mind. You see? When you leave a destructive person to himself, man, to rule, what is he going to do? He's going to destroy. That's what he's going to do. Hence why the planet is in the condition that it's in right now. You can't blame human, man. You like when it's put on the so-called white man, that's humans did this and humans. It's human nature. No, it's not human nature, man. It's the nature of you devils, man. That's whose nature it is, man. All right. Esau likes to put it on humans when the blame is on him, man. He loves to point the finger at somebody else, man. See? Like with that college scandal, man. They're trying to put that on the basketball players and the football players, man. They got in there legally, man. What are you crying about, man? By your own damn system. All right? But these devils are trying to point the finger. Oh, no, what about them? It's like a bunch of big kids, man. All right? Like a bunch of big kids. You know? Like I said, man, when you put a rulership of something into a destructive person's hand, what is he going to do? He's going to destroy, man. All right? And that's what the so-called white man has done across the planet, man. He's destroyed animals. Not only humans, he destroyed animals, man. The ocean. You see? So this devil's responsible for all pain on the planet Earth, man. Yeah, really. All right? He's part of the reason, man. He's a big, big part of the reason. All right? When you see animals, they have plastic in their nose and all that shit. Their gut is full of plastic. Who's creating the plastic, man? The so-called white man. These Edomites, man. Because they're greedy for gain, man. They can't go without gain, man. And they'll do anything for gain. They're not honorable. You see? Let's get John. What's that? John 10:10. This is John 10, verse 10. It says, "The thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy." So who's the thief, man? You see? Who's the thief that came not but to steal, to kill, and to destroy, man? Right? How did they get this land, man? They got this land from the so-called Native Americans, right? What did they do? Did they vote for it? Did they have a fair one-on-one war with it? No, man. They murdered and stabbed, and what they did was they gave them smallpox, man. All right? And waited till the men went and hunted and killed the women and children, man. That's not an honorable man. But they put themselves in these movies like they were those ancient, knights and all. That's not them. When you look at those relics, man, the relics were in pre-Renaissance period. Those were so-called black men, man. All right? The Moors, the Moorish Empire. Okay? So these Edomites take credit for things that they didn't do, man. Things that don't fit them. All right? And it says, I'll read that again, man. It's madness past, man. See, Esau's kingdom is a bunch of madness on one in Esau's kingdom, man. You know? And our kingdom ain't gonna be all that noise and shit. It's gonna be all peace, man. See? Say, the thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I have come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. Who's come, man? Yahushua is gonna come. That we might have life, man. You see? Because under these devils is what? Nothing but death. Okay? That's why everyone's all depressed and all messed up, man. Alright? Living paycheck to paycheck, man. Let them take 2 weeks off, man. They're going to be struggling, boy. You see? You know? But yeah, guess what? Yahushua is coming to take these devils down. We're not going to take these devils down by our own strength, man. Because Esau was given what? A great sword. All right? When you read Revelation, the 6th chapter, it speaks about the horse, the red horse, which represents the so-called white man, these devils. All right? It was given what? A great sword, that he may take peace from the earth. And that's what he's done. All right? And ain't going to be no peace under the rulership of Esau and Edom. Impossible. It is impossible. Okay? As long as the so-called white man rules, there will never be world peace. Guaranteed. I promise. All right? That's why the Most High is going to take him down, man. All right? Let's get Revelation 6. Let's get Revelation 6 real quick, since I mentioned it, man. This is Revelation 6, verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, right? And what does the word Edom mean? The word Edom in the Hebrew is Adawam, which means red. Okay? So when it's speaking about that red horse, it's speaking about the nation of Edom, the race of Edom. Alright? It says, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. That's what Esau Edom has done. He's taken peace from the earth. You see? The earth was somewhat in peace before he came, man. Alright? Before he got into power, the earth was somewhat peaceful. Right? The Native Americans, they were over here, they were living in peace. You see? Yes, they had little skirmishes here and there between the tribes, but they didn't have a system of war. They weren't into war like that. That's why Columbus said, he's like, whoa, these people are not prepared for battle, because they're not into war like that. You see? They were more into living off the land and just doing your thing, man. All right? When Esau came, that's when that war-like mentality came across the whole planet, man. Okay? It says to take, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. And that's going back to what Isaac, the blessing that Isaac gave Esau. All right, that's the blessing that's how Esau got the world right now, through his blessing, which was the sword. But that blessing is going to be taken away from Yahushua, from the Lord. All right, because that was only a temporary blessing. We got the eternal blessing, man. All right, the Israelites got the eternal blessing, which means what? We're going to rule forever, man, in the kingdom. All right, the kingdom is not for all nations. All right, the kingdom is for the Israelites. You see, Esau will make it seem like everyone's going to be in a utopia in the kingdom of heaven, but that's not true. It's going to be a utopia for the Israelites. All right, but for Esau Edom, all right, he's going to be at the lowest state that any man has ever been in. Okay? We're going to make sure that you Edomites really reap what you sow. You're going to really reap it, man. And I don't know if you know the depths of that, man. Okay? Let's get Revelations, the 18th chapter. Matter of fact, let's start with Revelations 13 and 9. Start with that. Then I'll get Revelations 18. And it says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. So who led us into captivity, man? The nation of Israel. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Who led us into captivity? See? You got to ask that question now. All right? And it says, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And the saints are the Israelites, according to Psalms 148. The saints are Israelites. So the Israelites are patiently waiting for a certain nation to go into captivity. All right? The Christian church is not going to tell you that, man. And this is in the New Testament. This is not the Old Testament. Because the New Testament and the Old Testament are one. You see? So now let's jump to Revelations 18. It says, this is Revelations 18 and verse verse 6, reward her even as she rewarded you. So it says to reward them even as they rewarded you. How did they reward us, man? With slavery, lynching, feeding our babies to alligators, cutting up pregnant women of the Tainos and the Arawak Indians, and stomping on them, burning them at the stake. For fun, might I add. All right? So that's how they rewarded us, man. So we're going to reward them the same way, but more. Let's continue. It says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works. So we're going to give them double. All you so-called white people, get prepared for double. All right? Double slavery, double the pain, double the murder, which is really going to be killing in that day. It's not going to be murder. It's going to be righteous killing. All right? That's going to be justice. See? Let's continue. It says, double according to her works, in the cup which she hath filled, fill unto her double. So what are we going to do? We're going to give you double what you gave us, man. All right? That's justice, man. You Edomites are vagabonds, man. You Edomites are, fugitive from justice. All right? So-called white man is a fugitive from justice. But the Most High is going to bring him to court, man. Matter of fact, this is the testimony right now. The testimony of Yahushua, all right? Our Lord, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ, man. All right? They don't really know the Lord. Okay? It says the day of vengeance burneth in his heart, man. So he's coming back to bring vengeance. When he came back before in the Roman Empire, he came as a lamb. Now he's coming as the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, man. All right? The conquering lion of the tribe of Yahweh. And he's coming back to wreak havoc on all of our enemies, man. All right? For the nation of Edom, all the way down to the nation of Moab, man. All of you. I'm not talking to you, devil. All right? All of you. Okay? Let's continue, man. It says, how much she had glorified herself and lived deliciously, because these Edomites have been living good, man. All right? They've been in the best neighborhoods. They stole the natural resources from all these different countries, all right? Especially our country, especially the Israelites, all right? So they've been living good, okay? But it's going to be a recompense. It says, so much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and I am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. So they don't believe that they're going to see sorrow. They don't believe that these things are going to come to pass when they speak. All right? But some of them do believe it. All right? A lot of them believe it, but they want to deny it. All right? It's called a cognitive dissonance. All right? Which is not going to save them in that time. Okay? Cognitive dissonance is not going to help you for the judgment that's coming, man. All right? You Edomites got to pay for what you've done. It's all in the Bible, man. The prophecies all lead to that, man. The destruction of Esau and Edom. All right? Let's continue. It says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. What's that fire coming from? That's coming from the nuclear missiles, man. All right? And that World War III, that's going to be, they're going to basically, the Most High is going to allow them to destroy themselves, man. All right? Partly. And he's going to help, man, with the chariots and the holy angels. All right? Let's get Isaiah the 14th chapter, man. Right now the Spirit is saying, let's get on Esau and Edom, and that's what's going to happen, man. You people don't like it that we always get on Edom, and guess what? You can go on another channel, man. All right? Edom has to be spoken about, man. Edom has to be called out, man. All right? All the wickedness that Esau has done, man, he has to be called out. All right? This is the testimony that we're giving right now. This is Isaiah 14 and verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And that proves those gutter rats in the land of Israel right now are not the true Israelites, man. All right? The Lord didn't bring them into that land. The British brought them into that land, man. Okay? That was from the Balfour Declaration. All right? Which they don't belong there. And it says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. And they shall rule over their oppressors. So who were we captive under? The Israelites, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American. We were captive under these devils, man. Under these Edomites. All right, which call themselves Caucasian today, man. All right? We were captive under them. So it says what? We're going to take them captive, whose captives we were. That's the Holy Bible, man. The Torah, if you may. The Tanakh, if you may. All right? And it says, let me read that again, man. Maybe they didn't hear it. Them shall take them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. So we're going to have them as slaves, man. You see? A servant and a handmaid is what? It's a slave. It's a servant. All right? And it says, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So that's going to be the end, man. We're going to rule over our oppressors. All these other nations, all these heathens, right, that came against us, we're going to rule over all of them. But especially the lowest of them is going to be the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. All right? And he's going to know his name in that day. He's not going to call himself white. Oh, we're white, we're Caucasian. No, you're not, man. You're an Edomite. All right? I'm looking at your skin color, you look red to me, man. All right? It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. So we were made to serve the hard bondage, but the Most High is going to give us rest. Okay? He loosened the lock, so to speak, right? To the point where we're not in the same slavery condition as we were before, man. In chattel slavery, man. All right? But the Most High is going to make sure that he completely breaks those chains, and he's going to put our enemies in those chains. You see? And that's going to be until Esau, Edom is exterminated. All right? That's according to the Bible. Obadiah 1:18 talks about that. All right? And that's going to be a beautiful day. Okay? Ain't nobody going to weep for Esau. There's not going to be any nation that's going to be sad for Esau, Edom. Okay? When he's taken down, these other nations are going to really be happy, man. Even though they're going to have to pay out their judgment. Because that reign of terror will be over. Okay? Excuse me. And it says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrows and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve, that thou shalt take up this parable against the king of Babylon.